Hello there. Happy Saturday evening on this Saturday, December the 14th. We are just 11 days before Christmas. Hope you are doing well wherever you are in the world. Yesterday, the Criterion Collection announced their March 2025 titles. I had a feeling that they were going to make those announcements yesterday. I just sort of had a sneaking suspicion they would and saw them come across my X feed, I think around just past noon yesterday. So very excited to see those titles. Wasn't in a position to do a live show yesterday, but no worries. There's no need to rush to these things. I've had a little bit of time to sort of digest it and think about these titles. And I have to say, I think this is a very sound lineup for March 2025. So I'm really looking forward to hearing what you think about these titles. I'm going to share my thoughts, and we're just going to, just share some reactions to these March 2025 titles. Not going to hold you very long. There's, of course, a lot going on out there in the world of entertainment. How many of you are watching Wicked in the theaters? I've heard great things about that. I have not had a chance to see it yet, but it has been highly recommended, especially once I found out that it's basically, from what I understand, to be a sort of a prequel or an origin story to The Wizard of Oz. So find that very interesting. But on the other side of this, we're going to go ahead and get into these Criterion March 2025 titles. I'm excited about this first quarter for 2025 for Criterion. How about you? Let's talk about it. All right, so just like that, we have a full quarter's worth of Criterion Collection titles to sort of sink our teeth into. We now have the March titles. And I have to say, this first quarter for Criterion, wow, they are not playing around. I am really looking forward to 2025. And I'm going to go into some comments, and then I'm going to share a few pieces of content about some potential coming attractions, and then we'll get into these Criterion titles. But let's see who all is out there on this wonderful Saturday evening, just a few hours before the Heisman Trophy Award winner is announced. Let's see here. We have an internet user saying, hello, everyone. Hello, internet user. Hope you are doing well out there. Thank you for joining as always. Jordo is out here. Jordo says, hey, James, and folks in the chat, nice little Saturday afternoon stream. I love it. Yes, I am just so thankful. This is a time of the year. This is truly the most wonderful time of the year. And we all have much to be thankful for. I am thankful for all of the blessings that God bestows upon us. And this is just a beautiful time of the year. We even have this wonderful little tree here where I'm at here to celebrate. But anyway, hey, internet use, people saying hello to one another, people saying hello back and forth. Movie Addict, how are you? I'm doing well. I'm doing well, Movie Addict, and hope you are as well. We have Archie saying good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Archie. We have Hunter Dean here. Night Moves is a great film. I have not seen it, but I am looking forward to it. And the fact that it has Gene Hackman in it, hey, you don't have to sell me. I'm in. See, Jason says, hey to you, Jason. Jordo saying Criterion's 2025 slate has been the best I've seen from the boutique labels for best year so far. Yeah, I mean, these first 3 months, folks, wow. The Criterion is not messing around, folks. Island 007100 says, hi, James. I haven't seen the Wicked movie yet, but did see Conclave this week, which was very good. Okay, great. That's good to know. Yeah, we need to try to go out and check out Wicked sometime this holiday season. I'm not sure when we're going to make it, but we gotta figure out a way to get there. We shall see. The Wages of Fear and Thief on 4K are going to look amazing. Yeah, I think you meant to say Fear, there, Jason. But yes, I think they will look amazing. Jordo says Wicked was pretty good, but not my favorite. I just went and saw Luca Guadagnino's new film Queer last night and loved it. He said that the red shoes was a big inspiration for the film, and I can see it. Okay. That sounds interesting. Let's see, Adam Khan says, hello, James. Nice to see you. Nice to see you all out there in the chat. And Adam says, excited for Night Moves and Wages of Fear. Yeah, so there is much to be excited about with these announcements, and we'll come back to the chat in just a little bit. But let me go ahead and I will share a little bit of content that I have here. Let me see how I am able to share. Looks like I have to share the entirety of my screen, I guess. Let's see. I'm going to share this window. Okay, so you should be seeing my PowerPoint. I'm going to go through these slides here and excitement. So here, oops, excuse me. It says Criterion Collection March 2025 titles. Q1 is looking pretty sweet. So you are sharing your entire screen. All right, so you should be seeing my screen here. And yeah, I mean, the first quarter of this year is looking pretty tight, folks. I mean, we're going to see the list of titles that are coming out in January and February, and then we'll get into our reactions for the March titles. But man, I am through the moon excited. Criterion ends this year on a super strong note. Folks, every title up here that I'm showing is A1, top-notch, fantastic title from Paper Moon, which is a title that I recently watched. I've gone through it. I have my thoughts on it. I'm going to put out my review of it perhaps tomorrow on this channel. Paper Moon 4K, Peter Bogdanovich film starring Ryan O'Neal, Tatum O'Neal. She won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, the youngest performer to ever win an acting award in the Oscars. Fantastic film, folks. Wonderful. Pandora's Box, fantastic Blu-ray edition from Criterion. Funny Girl 4K, amazing musical. Barbara Streisand, Omar Sharif, fantastic. Seven Samurai 4K. I got the BFI version, but it's going to look phenomenal. Then the 4K set of The Seventh Victim and I Walk with a Zombie. Those amazing films produced by Biollante. Amazing. I did a review of that on this channel. And then I recently picked up the 4K of Paris, Texas that came out in December. So Criterion is ending this year on a super strong note, including these two titles that I picked up just a few days ago that just came out. No Country for Old Men on 4K Ultra HD and 8.5 from Federico Fellini. These are two amazing films. 8.5 is one of Fellini's greatest films, and No Country for Old Men is my all-time favorite Joel and Ethan Coen film. So I am so through the moon excited about these titles that have come out at the end of the year. I mean, Criterion is just ending the year on a strong note and beginning 2025 on, I think, it's just as strong a note. So I am super, super excited. Now, I've seen recently, and I've been trying to keep you all up to date on what Janus Films is doing in terms of their showing of new 4K restorations of films to get a hint at some future titles coming to the collection. I did it recently with Seven Samurai when they were showing that new 4K restoration, and then shortly thereafter they announced Seven Samurai coming out on 4K Ultra HD in November, and it did. We talked about the 4K restoration of Paris, Texas, and that has been released in December of this year. We also talked about last month, Wages of Fear, that 4K restoration being shown in theaters, and now it has just been announced for the March releases. So continuing with that, Janus Films is now showing new 4K restorations of Jacques Demy's The Umbrellas of Cherbourg from 1964 and Michelangelo Antonioni's Il Gredo. This is the director that did the Alienation trilogy with La Notte, La Ventura, and what's the third one? Is it La Notte, La Ventura, and put it in the chat. He did his Alienation trilogy as well as Red Desert, but he also did this film El Gredo from 1957, and there's a new 4K restoration of that film. So based upon this and based upon the recent track record that we've seen, there's every reason to believe that in 2025 we should be seeing an edition for The Umbrellas of Cherbourg on 4K Ultra HD and possibly also Il Gredo as well. So be on the lookout for those announcements from Criterion very soon, quite likely. So no guarantees, but this is a strong indication of what is to come. And then we recently saw in the news that more Sean Baker films are entering the Criterion Collection catalog soon. Sean Baker was quoted by IndieWire as saying that There are some upcoming Criterion releases of his earlier films that are coming to the collection. So I just put up here some of the posters from some of his earlier films, such as Prince of Broadway, Tangerine, The Florida Project, Starlet. Now, as I have highlighted down here, the films shown here are not confirmed upcoming releases, but there are possibilities. These are some of his earlier films, so it's possible that these might be coming to the collection. So when he says some of his earlier films, the ones that you see here might be in that mix. So I would expect that we'll see something in this space in 2025. So we shall see. And then, of course, last Saturday, I was a very happy man last Saturday evening. My Georgia Bulldogs are SEC champions and are in the first 12-team college football playoff. So I'm super excited. You know, the Georgia Bulldogs, they played the Texas Longhorns for the second time this season, and they were able to come out on top in overtime, 22-19, in a thrilling win. I was not in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I was there for the last two SEC championship games. We won one in 22, lost last year to Alabama. Ugh. But we beat the Texas Longhorns this year to win our second SEC championship in 3 years. So go Dogs. This is the playoff field at the bottom right here. And hopefully my Dogs will hoist that national championship trophy on January the 20th. We shall see. So yeah, that's a little bit of an update there of some things going on in the world of physical media and in the world of sports, you know. So we're sort of covering a lot of different areas here, but we're about to go into our Criterion titles. So let's do it, shall we? Oops. All right. So this is March titles announced. We'll go ahead and click on it, and we'll see the coming soon. And let's go ahead and start down here with the titles that are coming out in the month of January. So all the titles from Criterion for the 2024 year have already come out. So we're done with 2024 releases. And like I said, strong end of the year for Criterion. I mean, strong year. I am so happy with the titles that have come out in the month of December, January, and October. So loving it. But we're getting Richard Pryor's JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling in January. We're getting The Mother and the Whore. We're getting a 4K upgrade of Yojimbo and Sanjuro, which is really exciting for a lot of people. We have Eastern Condors. Oh, well, actually, excuse me. I correct myself. December, we still have a release of Eastern Condors coming out, as well as Evil Does Not Exist, a January Contemporaries title. So those are the last two titles coming out in December from Criterion. So I stand corrected. Then in January, we get Yojimbo Sanjuro on 4K. We have this title on 4K, I believe, as well as JoJo Dance of Your Life is Calling. We're getting the Grifters on 4K and Winchester 73. Very exciting lineup for Criterion, of which I am very likely getting JoJo Dancer, The Mother and the Whore, Grifters, and Winchester 73, almost 100%. I already have the Blu-ray edition of Yojimbo and Sanjuro, so unlikely that I'm going to make that upgrade at this time. Then we fast forward to February, and we have Punch Drug Love, that 4K upgrade coming out. I already have the Blu-ray. Probably not going to be upgrading that title. We have another film from Jean-Luc Godard coming out on Blu-ray, King Lear. Still deciding if I'm going to get that. I'm definitely getting this Joan Micklin Silver film, Crossing Delancey on 4K Ultra HD, so super excited about that, as well as Drugstore Cowboy. So looking forward to that title. This is another Janus Contemporaries title coming out in the month of February. It's called Last Summer. So that's an interesting title there. That's coming out on Blu-ray. We're also getting 4K editions of Performance and an upgrade of an existing title in the collection, Guillermo del Toro's directorial debut, Chronos, coming out of 4K Ultra HD. So that rounds out the February titles. We now come to the month of March, and March is quite a month indeed. We are getting 6 titles from Criterion in the month of March. 2 are 4K upgrades of existing Blu-rays in the Criterion collection. we're getting 2 new filmmakers, and we are getting all 4K Ultra HD editions for all other releases, with the exception of one release, which is a new Charlie Chaplin release that's coming out on Blu-ray. So a lot of 4K goodness, a couple of upgrades, 2 new directors coming in the collection, and we have representation from the United States, Japan, and France in these titles for the month of March. So let's go ahead and jump into the first title that's coming out in the month of March. Oh, also, I want to say we have 4 Blu-ray Tuesdays in the month of March, and we have 1 release coming out on the 4th, 1 coming out on the 11th, and 2 coming out on the 18th, and 2 coming out on the 25th. So those are your 6 titles, their release schedule. So some Criterion goodness coming our way each of the Blu-ray Tuesdays in the month of March, starting with this one here, which is a masterpiece from Henri Georges-Clouzot. It is The Wages of Fear. Now, this is a title that we talked about last month that has recently gotten a 4K restoration. Janus Films is showing this in select theaters. So we talked about that last month, that this could be an upcoming 4K release, and lo and behold, here it is. The interesting thing about it is that this is a brand new cover. So most of the time when Criterion does these 4K upgrades, they keep the same cover, and there's really no change at all to the artwork. In this case, we're getting some new artwork that I find very interesting. So this is a fantastic film that I highly recommend that you consider picking up if you like foreign films, if you're interested in films that have a thriller element, an element of intrigue and suspense. This is a fantastic, fantastic film that keeps you on the edge of your seat, literally, because these guys are in South America. They are driving trucks that are hauling nitroglycerin. So they have to be careful about every single bump or every single jolt of the truck could cause it to potentially explode. This is explosive material. So that's part of the tension of this film, and it's just absolutely fantastic. This is a 4K release that's coming out from Criterion in March. This is an upgrade of the existing spine number 36 in the collection, and this is going to be available on 4K Ultra HD, Blu-ray, and DVD. It's coming out March the 4th. So exciting news there. Now, this is a new 4K digital restoration with uncompressed mono soundtrack. There is no indication of HDR on this release. And that is something that I think one needs to keep in mind, as well as the fact that there is a BFI edition of this film on 4K Ultra HD. So that is something to sort of keep in mind. This BFI edition just so happens to have Dolby Vision and HDR10 compatible. So that's something to kind of think about, as you're thinking about, is this a title that you want on 4K? I currently have the Criterion Blu-ray of The Wages of Fear, and I definitely want to upgrade this film to 4K. And similar to what I've done for other films, like, for example, Seven Samurai, I have the Criterion Blu-ray, I have the BFI 4K. Night of the Hunter, I have the Criterion Blu-ray, I have the Kino Lorber 4K. Same, with In the Heat of the Night, and several titles where there is a Criterion Blu-ray, like in the case of Videodrome, I have Criterion Blu-ray, but I got the Arrow 4K. And the reason that I do that is to get the extra special features that aren't on the Criterion edition, because oftentimes the Criterion 4K upgrade is just an upgrade of the 4K disc. You don't get any new special features. So this is a way to get the upgrade to 4K and also get additional commentaries and additional visual essays and other features that are not on the Criterion disc. So that way you have the Criterion edition, you have this other edition of 4K, you get the 4K picture quality, you get all the other bonus features, you have more of a complete, kind of definitive version of the film, so to speak. So with a lot of special features. So that's probably the route I'm going to go with this BFI edition. I have not done the full comparison of all these features to the Criterion edition, but just note that all of the features on this Criterion edition are the same features that appear on the existing Blu-ray for Wages of Fear. So the only change you're getting is you're getting a 4K disc, you're getting new cover art. That really is the only difference. So if you don't already have the Criterion Blu-ray, then this may be an edition that you might want to consider more strongly. But of course, you may also want to think about the fact that this does not appear to have Dolby Vision or any HDR, whereas the DFI edition is stated to have Dolby Vision and it's HDR10 compatible. So just something to keep in mind for this. But however you get it, folks, however you get it, even if you get this on DVD or Blu-ray, this is an amazing film, period, to get. It is an absolutely fantastic film from Henri Georges Clouzot that I highly recommend. I recommend this film here, and also from Henri Georges Clouzot, this film here, Diabolique, which is phenomenal, phenomenal. I have not picked up Les Corbeaux yet, so I definitely want to check that out at some point. But Diabolique is phenomenal, and La Vérité is also a very good film as well. But definitely highly recommend checking out The Wages of Fear from Henri Georges Clouzot. So let me come out here. That is coming out on March the 4th. The second title that's coming out is Thief, and we will click on that in just a second. But let me show you a little something, because I did a video a couple of months ago, or a live stream, where I talked about some of the titles that I really want to see come to the collection in 2025. And there's a particular title that was included in that live stream, and I definitely want us throughout the year to compare notes and to recall back to the predictions that we made, including this one right here.
All right, number 8. I just named it. I just said it. Thief. Michael Mann. Somebody mentioned Michael Mann here, and I forgot the film that they were talking about. But this is another film from Michael Mann, one of my very first Criterions, starring the late great James Caan. A few years after playing Sonny in The Godfather, I absolutely loved him in that movie. He was awesome in that movie, and he's great in this movie here. This is James Caan, Thief. He has some great lines in this, man. He is a thief. He's able to basically crack safes and open them up. And there's a great scene in the film showing that. And it's just a really, really good movie. Has those nice neon lights set in Chicago, the rainy streets of Chicago. It's a very atmospheric, moody film by Michael Mann. I think this film would look absolutely phenomenal on 4K. And so I would love to see this film on 4K. This is a nice release overall. It doesn't have a ton of features. You do get a nice little interview with James Caan on.
All right, so yeah, a couple of months ago, we did that live stream where we talked about Criterion wishes for 2025, and a couple of my long-time wishes for Criterion have been upgrades of like Blowout that came out a couple of years ago on 4K, probably my all-time favorite Criterion edition, as well as this film, Thief, and then other films like Medium Cool that I hope to see get a 4K upgrade at some point. But yeah, we're going to get to Thief on the Criterion site here, and then we'll come back to your comments and hear what you are thinking and what you're feeling and all that good stuff. So let me go back and share my window, and here we are. So let's go into Thief. This is the film by Michael Mann, of course, and it is the sole entry of Michael Mann in the Criterion collection, as you can see. And this is one of my early pickups from Criterion here. I picked this up from Barnes & Noble, even before I knew anything about Criterion, quite frankly. I was just attracted to the cover, heard some good things. I said, you know what? I just feel like picking up Thief. And I did, and I enjoyed it. It's going to be available in 4K Ultra HD, Blu-ray, and DVD. So again, the DVD option is available for those who still collect that format. That is a good option, as well as the Blu-ray, but also this new 4K Blu-ray edition. Now, I'm not aware of Thief being available on 4K from anybody else, so I am going to be doing this upgrade for sure. This is one of those titles that for me is a no-brainer upgrade to the 4K format. Blowout, Thief, medium cool, no brainer for me. So I will definitely be picking up this title from the Criterion collection. All the special features are the same. This is a new 4K digital restoration of the director's cut, supervised and approved by Michael Mann with the 5.0 surround DTS HD master audio soundtrack. I believe the audio is the same. I'll have to double check, but this is a new 4K digital restoration. You are getting Dolby Vision HDR, which is great to see because I'll tell you what, the Chicago streets, rain-soaked streets, the neon lights, I just cannot wait to see how this is going to look on 4K Ultra HD. I am super, super excited. There's a really nice interview on here with James Caan, the late, great James Caan, where he's talking about the training that he did to get ready for this film in terms of the whole, safe cracking mechanism that's involved in this film. But this is a great film that's basically about a man who's a thief, who's trying to get out of the game. There's forces pulling him back into it. That whole classic story setup is executed really beautifully in this film. Really enjoyed this film. It's one of my all-time favorites in the Criterion collection. It is Spine 691, and it is from 1981, getting a 4K Ultra HD upgrade. This is a fantastic film from Michael Mann. Has a great soundtrack from Tangerine Dream. Awesome. Steve. So this one comes highly, highly recommended. So let me pop out here and get a few comments and see how you all are feeling. What is going on in your world? So let's see here. Adam says, excited for Night Moves and Wages of Fear. I am too. Absolutely. A Woman in Paris on Blu-ray, more Chaplin on the collection. And I have not seen that one, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. Gerald Lang says, hi, hey James, good titles coming in March. Godzilla versus Biollante is a must-own. Hoping for another Godzilla box set. Ordered. Evil does not exist. $10 off code for Criterion Channel subscribers. Okay, cool. Good deal. That sounds like a good deal to me. And then the William Friedkin film Sorcerer is based on the same novel as The Wages of Fear. That's right. That's right. I hope that gets a 4K at some point. Yes, I've heard the connection between Friedkin's film to Wages of Fear. Choose Me looks interesting. Can't wait to pick it up on 4K. Yeah, me too. I have not seen Choose Me, but so I'm looking forward to checking it out. See, L'Eclisse. Yeah, oh, that's right. La Noche, L'Eclisse, and La Ventura. Or El Noche, L'Eclisse, and La Ventura. That's Michelangelo Antonione's Alienation trilogy. 3 amazing films that I highly recommend checking out. If you're into that type of things. Probably not for everybody, but I thoroughly enjoyed them. James, I just watched The Happening today. Disturbing to say the least. You may want to skip. Yeah, I already know. I read a little bit about it. And when I read some of the content in there, and I even looked up on YouTube the last scene of the movie, and I watched it, and I thought to myself, skip, double skip, triple skip. So I hear you on that. Just wait, James. The Longhorns will be getting a revenge in the finals. Oh, Hunter talking some smack there. Yeah, that's what I'm a little concerned about. We played Texas twice. We beat them in Austin. We beat them in Atlanta. What I don't want to have happen is they get us in the playoffs. So, but we'll see what happens. I know that Steve Sarkisian has a good team, and he's going to have Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning ready to do their business in the playoffs. So, should be exciting. Adrian says, hello, James. Happy Saturday. Hello, Adrian, across the pond. Hope you're doing well. See Archie Cinema, the Shyamalan film. The Shyamalan film. Not sure what you're referring to, Archie, on that. I mean, internet user. Let me know what you're referring to there. Archie says, I apologize, James. I meant the film Happiness. Yes. Yeah, I know what you meant. You may want to skip it. Yeah. Oh, believe me. Oh, yes. That's right. You called it the happening up here. Yeah. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Happiness. Yeah. And yeah, I saw the end of it and I was like, I'm with you. It's definitely a hard skip for me. Okay. Um, very coconut head said, very glad I skipped on getting Thief on Blu-ray last sale. May I now I can pick up the 4K. Yeah, excellent. Awesome. Yeah, that is one of the Thief is one of the best editions on Criterion, in my opinion, folks. It is just a cool film. James Caan is just he's just cool. James Caan, Tuesday Weld. You have Willie Nelson in the film. It is just a really cool film. Is it one of the greatest films of all time? No, it's not. But it's just a cool. For me, it's just a nice comfort food kind of movie that I can go back to again and again. It's just one of my feel good movies that I just enjoy. That's in the Criterion Collection. An internet user says, I much prefer the new cover art for The Wages of Fear. Yeah, I do too. So I've got to debate whether or not I want to get the Criterion upgrade or if I want to get the BFI edition. So I'm going to think about it. May ask my dog Shiloh what he thinks about it. Next time I feed him, get his thoughts on it. Let's see. Archie Cinema says, Wages of Fear was playing in 4K at my local theater. I'm going to check it out on the Criterion channel and possibly get it during a flash sale. Cool. Yeah. Whenever you get it, will be a good time to get it for sure. Let's see. Internet user says, I really wish they would have used the original poster for the Thief cover art. Okay. You mean the original theatrical poster? Okay. Yeah, we'll have to check that out. But yeah, so very good. Let's go back onto the Criterion site and let's see what's going on out there. What is going on out there? What is happening? All right, here's the Godzilla movie. This is Godzilla versus Biollante. I had never heard of this film. Now, this is one of the new filmmakers entering the collection. This is Kazuki Amori. As you can see, this is the first title of his in the collection. Godzilla versus Biollante. Diving into delirious realms of imagination, this second film of the Godzilla franchise's 1980s resurgence showcased the towering beast for a new generation of fans. This time, Godzilla's foe is one of the series' most wondrously strange kaiju creations, Biollante, a mutant plant genetically engineered from the cells of a rose, a renegade scientist's dead daughter, and Godzilla itself. With a wild plot encompassing spies, psychic children, and bonkers biotechnology, and some of the coolest special effects in the history of Japanese cinema, Godzilla vs. Biollante stands as a high point in the ever-evolving mythology of the King of Monsters. Very interesting. This is going to be available on 4K. Now, this is coming out March the 18th. Sorry, March 18th, 2025. It's going to be available on 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray, combo pack, and on Blu-ray. So no DVD option as of yet. No DVD option, 4K Blu-ray combo, or Blu-ray. This is getting a new spine number, spine 1254 in the collection. It's from Japan. It's from 1989. It's coming in at 104 minutes, and it's in color. So you get a new 4K digital restoration, the 5.0 surround DTS HD Master Audio soundtrack. There's no indication of Dolby Vision or HDR. So that's something to consider. And, I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comments section. That's not always the end of the world, folks. It's not really always a bad thing. There's reasons why Dolby Vision or HDR is applied in some cases and not applied in others. There's reasons for that. I do not profess to know those reasons. So let us know in the comments section if you have expertise around that. I'm not sure if it's a financial considerations or if it's creative, artistic considerations that would say that, a Dolby Vision grade would not enhance this picture very much or might actually detract from this picture's quality. It wouldn't. It really wouldn't enhance the image much in any way. I'm just not sure what the decisions are that go into that. So let us know in the comment section. You do get a new audio commentary on the film. You get a making of program from 1993, a short documentary from 93, some deleted special effects, TV spots, and an essay. So, got some little features there. This is definitely, intriguing. You see here the plant monster there. You see Godzilla. Very interesting looking stuff there. You know, and I must confess, I'm not the biggest Godzilla fan in the world. So I have the Godzilla movie, that Criterion edition that recently got a 4K upgrade. Still have not upgraded that yet because I'm not a huge Godzilla person. I did not get the Godzilla big box set. Have no plans of doing that. I'm just content having the regular, just the first Godzilla film there, and I don't need all the other, films. But this is definitely an interesting looking title. This is probably one I'm not going to be picking up, but I think it's a film that a lot of people are going to probably check out. Let's take a look at a little bit of this. All right. Interesting stuff. I don't want to get any kind of copyright stuff there, but yeah, this is Godzilla versus Biollante. This is coming out May the 8th, sorry, March 18th on Criterion. March the 18th on 4K Blu-ray combo pack and on Blu-ray. So yeah, check that one out. And then next is a title that is from Charlie Chaplin. Now, I think I also mentioned some more Charlie Chaplin coming out on Criterion in 2025 as well. So this is part of the 2025 wish list, but this is A Woman in Paris. This is a silent film that is getting a new Blu-ray edition in Criterion under spine number 1253. It is going to be available on March the 18th on Blu-ray and DVD. So this is going to be available on DVD. It is starring Edna Purviance and written and directed by Charles Chaplin. So this is directed by Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin is behind the camera in this case. He is not starring in the film. This is a film where we have Edna Purviance taking the starring role. And it says, remarkable for his psychological nuance and his boldly modern perspective on an independent woman's search for fulfillment, Charlie Chaplin's long overlooked silent masterpiece, A Woman in Paris, is a revelation. Chaplin confounded 1923 audiences with this unexpected foray into serious drama, and by ceding the spotlight to his longtime screen partner, Edna Purviance. She is captivating as the vivacious Marie St. Clair, a woman of fate who leaves behind her small-minded village for the glamour of Paris, where she finds herself at the center of a jazz-age whirl of champagne soirees, luxurious pleasure-seeking, romance, and tragedy. So this is A Woman of Paris. This is the 1923 film from Charlie Chaplin, spine 1223, 81 minutes, so doesn't keep you long. You're getting a new 4K digital restoration of this 1976 re-release version, okay? Getting an alternate score from 2005, introduction by Chaplin scholar David Robinson, a new video essay by Chaplin biographer Jeffrey Vance. So let's see, Chaplin the Day, A Woman of Paris, featuring interviews with actor Liv Ullmann. She appears in a number of Ingmar Bergman films, and filmmaker Michael Powell. Very interesting. So that's the filmmaker who partnered with Emmerich Pressburger on a number of different films, and also on his own directed the film Peeping Tom. So he and Michael Powell partnered. Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger partnered to do The Red Shoes, Black Narcissus, several amazing films that came out on Technicolor in the 1940s and 1950s. So be interesting to see that feature with him. And then an archive commentary. excerpts from the audio interview with Chaplin Studios cameraman Roland Totaro. Okay. This looks like a really nice addition from Criterion. So let me just play a little bit of this here. Okay, that's interesting. Again, you got to avoid copyright. You don't want to play too much of stuff, but definitely looks like a very interesting film there. Edna Purviance. This is a title I definitely plan to pick up. I have all of the Chaplin releases that are currently available on Criterion. I've been looking forward to some of them coming out on 4K, but this is coming out on Blu-ray, but no problem. I will definitely be picking this up. This looks like a fantastic addition from Criterion. And again, this is directed by Charlie Chaplin. He is not starring in it. So looking forward to checking out A Woman of Paris. So, okay. So there we have it. So let me see what y'all are thinking here. Criterion is 30% off sale on site until December 23rd. Yes, yes, as well as when I picked up No Country for Old Men and Federico Fellini's 8.5, I got them from Barnes & Noble and they were 30% off there as well. So definitely keep that in mind. And of course, Amazon also carries... Yeah. Okay. So Amazon typically carries Criterion titles for 30% off as well. So definitely keep that in mind as well. Ray Flood, did you watch Paper Moon on 4K yet? I just bought it on Amazon for $25. Yes, I have watched it. I have my review materials ready for it. I've had those review materials ready for about a week or so. I just haven't had a chance to film it yet. I do plan to film it and put it out probably tomorrow on Mañana. Phenomenal release, folks. Phenomenal. Can't wait for Godzilla versus Biollante. I was hoping we would get a US release. I knew it was already released in Japan. Cool. And then Ken Carlson says, so it was confirmed more Chaplin upgrades on 4K for next year. A Woman in Paris is coming out on Blu-ray. I would love for them to come back with the announcement saying, "Oh, we're going to offer it on 4K too." But I'm definitely hoping for some 4K goodness of Criterion in 2025. I would love to see that. See, Ethan says, "Sounds like your house is about to enter self-destruct mode." No, I am not at my house. Actually, I am at another location. But yeah, interesting. But yeah. So that's interesting stuff there. So let us go to the last couple of titles, and then we'll capture the last comments, and then we'll kind of wrap this thing up here. We'll wrap it up. All right. So yeah, so far great releases from Criterion. I'll do a quick little recap of what I'm most interested in. I think you have an idea of where I'm at on these titles so far, but let's cover these last two titles coming out in the month of March. These are two titles coming out on March the 25th, including this title from Alan Rudolph, Choose Me. This is the second new filmmaker in the collection. Alan Rudolph gets this film from 1984 in the collection, starring Genevieve Bujold, Keith Carradine, and Leslie Ann Warren. This is a film by Alan Rudolph. It's called Choose Me. And it says, an achingly romantic neon dream, Alan Rudolph's comic and cutting exploration of the mysteries of human desire established him as one of the most boldly idiosyncratic, love that word, independent auteurs of the 1980s. At the Smoky Dive Eve's Lounge, a collection of strangers, including an insecure radio sexpert, Genevieve Bujold, a commitment-phobic former sex worker, Leslie Ann Warren, and a globe-trotting mystery man, Keith Carradine, become entangled in a web of passion, jealousy, and self-discovery. Grooving to the rhythms of Teddy Pendergrass's sexy slow jams, Choose Me exists on its own offbeat wavelength. Interesting. So, this definitely looks like an interesting title here. I love this cover art. I absolutely love this cover. This cover is awesome. I think it's from the movie art, but it looks fantastic. This is going to be available in 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray combo pack and Blu-ray, no DVD option. It's coming on March 25th. It's a new 4K digital restoration supervised by the director and producer. The 4K is presented in Dolby Vision, so we are getting Dolby Vision HDR, which is great. Love to see that. Getting a new conversation between Rudolph and actor Keith Carradine, a new program featuring interviews with Rudolph Blocker and production designer Stephen Legler and producer Carolyn Pfeiffer, and an excerpts from an interview with Rudolph at the Midnight Sun Film Festival. So yeah, so a few new features. We are getting the new 4K restoration, Dolby Vision. So again, this film came out in 1984. It's 106 minutes. It's coming in at new spy number 1256. It's in color. And you see a very young Keith Carradine here. Let's just play a little bit of this. All right. Don't want to play too much of that music there. But yeah, this is a fascinating looking one here. Again, I don't know much about it, but I get the sense that there are some very interesting characters. And this is one I'm interested in exploring. What about you? Have y'all seen this? If so, what do you think about it? Let us know in the comments section. But this is Choose Me, Alan Rudolph, coming out on 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray option, no DVD, coming March the 25th from the Criterion Collection, spy number 1256. And then the last title coming out in the month of March from Criterion stars one of my all-time favorite actors, Gene Hackman, and it is Night Moves. This is from Arthur Penn. Now, Arthur Penn already has a title in the collection, and he's one of the 8 directors that are part of the Visions of 8. And you'll see here that Arthur Penn did the highest. So I believe that is the pole vault. Each of these directors took one of the events from the 1972 Summer Games, I think in Munich, right? In Munich, yeah. The 1972 Summer Games in Munich. Each of these 8 directors covered one particular part of it, and they put their own artistic spin to it. And Arthur Penn did the highest. So he covered the pole vault, and the Visions of 8 is one of the best Olympic films that I've seen. I haven't seen all of them, but it is just a fantastic Olympic film, a fantastic release in the Criterion Collection that I highly recommend. Now Arthur Penn has sort of a standalone, if you would, film in the collection, and it's called Night Moves, starring Gene Hackman. This is a film from 1975. It's 100 minutes. So it's a pretty sweet spot, that 1 hour, 40-minute point. So that's nice. Coming out March the 25th. It's going to be available in 4K Blu-ray combo pack, as well as Blu-ray, no DVD option. So keep that in mind. On March the 25th, a new 4K digital restoration with uncompressed monaural soundtrack. You do get Dolby Vision HDR. So that is awesome. A new audio commentary, a new audio interview with actor Jennifer Warren. You get an interview with director Arthur Penn from the 1975 episode of Cinema Showcase. So this is right around the time the film came out in 1975. Interview with Penn from the 1995 documentary Arthur Penn, A Love Affair with Film. And then a behind-the-scenes featurette trailer and an essay by Mark Harris, a critic. So looks like a pretty nice addition. This is Arthur Penn's haunting neo-noir. I love neo-noirs. This is a film from the mid-1970s. I love films from this period. This is right up my alley. It's Gene Hackman. That's all I need to know. I'm in. So this is his haunting neo-noir. It reimagines the hard-boiled detective film for the disillusioned, paranoid 1970s. In one of his greatest performances, Gene Hackman oozes world-weary cynicism as a private investigator whose search for an actress's missing daughter, Melanie Griffith, leads him from the Hollywood Hills to the Florida Keys, where he is pulled into a sordid family drama and a sinister conspiracy he can hardly grasp. So that sounds so intriguing to me. You see here, Gene Hackman here, that very young Gene Hackman in this film here. So this is right up my alley. I love seeing films from this time period with some of the greatest actors. Films like Thief, showing a James Caan from the mid 1980s. This is showing Gene Hackman in the mid 1970s. I'm all over that stuff, man. I love it. Love it. Love it. So this is coming out March the 25th, again on 4K Blu-ray combo, and Blu-ray is getting spine number 1255 in the collection. It's 100 minutes, 1975, United States, Arthur Penn, Night Moves. What more do you need to know? So you come back out here, we get the overview. Wages of Fear, definitely going to be getting that on 4K. It's just a question of, am I going to get the Criterion edition or the BFI? Currently leaning toward BFI, but we shall see. Either way, you cannot go wrong. Whatever format you get this film on, I cannot recommend this film enough. It is a fantastic film from Henri Georges Clouzot. The Wages of Fear. Thief, definitely upgrading that to 4K. I'm probably passing on this Godzilla Biollante film, but I will see what you all have to say about it and see if I'm developing interest in it. Definitely getting A Woman of Paris, 100%. Definitely getting Choose Me on 4K Ultra HD, and definitely getting Night Moves. So I'm basically getting this entire slate for the month of March, with the exception of Godzilla versus Biollante. And I'm probably getting all of these films in the month of March. I'm probably going to pick them all up in March, and we'll definitely do reviews of a number of these on this channel, including Thief on 4K. I'll do a side-by-side comparison of the 4K of Thief versus the Blu-ray. How do they compare? Similar to what I've done for other titles. I'm definitely getting A Woman of Paris, another Chaplin film. It's a no-brainer to add to the collection. Choose Me. We'll probably do a review of that title as well as Night Moves. So probably review both of these 4K editions from Criterion. So very excited about that. So with that, I'm going to come back out and capture you all's thoughts and put a capper on this bad boy and get back to what I'm doing this evening here. So we're going to wrap this up in just about an hour. A very efficient live stream during this most wonderful time of the year. Let's see. Jason says, what an amazing start to the year from Criterion. Can't wait for next year's releases. Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you. I am with you on that. And then an internet user says, someone on the Criterion forum said that the French Connection will be getting a Criterion release next year. Yeah. So folks, for next year, I'm super excited. This first quarter is banging. It is amazing. Some fantastic releases. What a great start to the year for Criterion. They are hitting it on all cylinders with some banger titles, one after the other in January, February, and March. Super excited about that. I definitely would love to see French Connection get a 4K release from Criterion in 2025, as well as Sunset Boulevard. I would love to see Criterion release Sunset Boulevard on 4K. 2025 will be Sunset Boulevard's 75th anniversary. So there is a very high probability that somebody is going to be releasing that on 4K. Who better to do it than Criterion? Another Billy Wilder film in the collection. He already has Double Indemnity on 4K in the collection. This would be another fantastic addition. Fingers crossed, we shall see. But yeah, the French Connection will be getting a Criterion release next year. Take this with a massive grain of salt, though it'll be nuts if this came to fruition. Yeah, we shall see. Fingers crossed on that one. That would be a wonderful addition. What an amazing start to the year, says Jason, of course. I just saw that. Speaking of Arthur Penn, I can't believe Warner hasn't done a 4K of Bonnie and Clyde yet. Yeah, at some point, I'm sure I would imagine that they would. And let's see here. Oh, so Arthur Penn directed Bonnie and Clyde? Okay. I did not know that. I've seen it, but I didn't realize, I didn't remember who the director was. But let's see. Archie says, I wanted Thief bad for years, but knew it was coming to 4K. Glad I waited. Get ready for the Before Trilogy 4K upgrade coming soon, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. That's also likely to come pretty soon. A Woman in Paris looks excellent. Also, I definitely want to check it out on the Criterion channel first. Yeah, that's a good call. Now, I'm definitely picking it up because Criterion has put a lot of love into pretty much all of the Chaplin releases. All those Blu-ray releases are fantastic releases with some great special features. They do a really nice job of those Chaplin releases in the Criterion collection. And I think a lot of it has to do with them working with the Chaplin estate and putting together some really nice definitive editions of his films. Night Moves is a must buy. I'm glad Gene Hackman's movies are getting more 4K love. The deluxe 4K version of The Conversation just hit my door today. I want to get that. I also recently picked up during the Barnes & Noble sale for Criterion and got, I think, did I get it 50% off? I got the Kino version of Narrow Margin starring Gene Hackman. So I want to watch that. I may watch that tonight, but we shall see. But I picked that up on 4K on Kino. So yeah, the more films starring Hackman, the better, right? But yeah, The Conversation is one I want to pick up, but the price is pretty high. I may pull the trigger though. We'll see. Let's see. Turncoat says, so Wages of Fear is getting a new Blu-ray standalone release too. Is that the first time this has happened when there's a 4K upgrade? Well, now the Wages of Fear already has a Blu-ray edition out. Um, so it already has a Blu-ray edition, but it's now getting the 4K from Criterion. But I'm just noting that there's also a BFI 4K edition available that has Dolby Vision, so that's something to keep in mind. Let's see, if you love Chaplin, you must get the Chaplin Mutual box set, 12 masterpieces, some of his best work. I have not heard of that set. I'll have to check it out. But yeah. So yeah, folks, the month of March has some amazing goodness from Criterion. Definitely excited about it. If you're catching this on a replay, let us know in the comment section what you think about these titles that are coming out in the month of March. And let us know what else you are watching in the world of physical media and what you're watching in the theaters and all that good stuff. Just share the goodness in the comment section below as you're continuing to enjoy the holiday season. Now, I am going to show this last comment from internet user. I believe the 4K for Wages of Fear is longer. The 4K is longer. Okay, let's check that out. Let's check that out in the notes for the edition. But always continue to come back to the Criterion site for the latest official information on all these releases. And like I said, this looks like a great start to the year for Criterion for the first quarter. So let us know in the comment section what you think about all this goodness. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time at the movies. Peace. Have a great rest of your Saturday, everybody, and we'll be talking to you very, very soon.